Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to discuss a little bit about GATE and why a non-CSIT graduate should actually consider all the options before taking a drop for GATE, and also why it is relevant for non-CSIT people and how it is different for CSIT people. So basically, GATE was started as a entrance, graduate level entrance examination, as you know, for engineers, for higher degrees, to those who have completed BTech and wanted to get a MTech from elite universities like IITs and NITs. They used to appear GATE in the earlier days. Now, during the year 2011-12, what happened was the PSUs started recruiting people from GATE, and that scenario was not there previously. PSUs used to do their own examination and like conduct their own examination. So what happened was that it drastically increased the number of candidates appearing for GATE examination. So now there were not only people who were appearing just for MTechs, they were also appearing for the highly lucrative IITs, the highly lucrative PSUs. Now, what they did was that there was a sudden and a massive increase in the number of people who took coaching for GATE. And apparently, this coaching institute started, when you go to their classes, they sort of sell you this propaganda that like everything is good and well once you clear this gate. They sell you this dream, and that's where things get a little bit tricky. So there are people who have cleared the GATE examination or the IAS examination and still they haven't felt satisfied, or they did not get what they achieved from the job. But apart from that, the issue is that whenever you are sitting in a class of one of these coaching institutes, there are nearly 500 odd students, and out of that, I guess only rare about one or two students get into the PSUs, and these people sell you these things. And what happens is that this idea that it's such an amazing job just spreads down the line over the year to whoever is listening. He will tell his junior. Now, not to say that those jobs are not amazing, they are absolutely amazing jobs, and I won't deny that, but they also have to inform that only a very minuscule percentage of the people actually succeed in cracking those examinations, and what happens to the rest of them. And when you are a non-CSIT graduate, what happens is that you prepare for the exam, you know everything. Like for an electrical engineer, you know the power system concepts, you know the power electronics concepts, you know the control system, everything is in your brain. But during those 3 hours, what happens, no one knows, and there might be like a single mistake that shifted your rank by 100, and due to that shift in rank by 100, you are unable to achieve that PSU company. Now what to do next? Now in our company, in our country, that's the trick. That what happens is that if you are a non-CSIT graduates, there are no other jobs, like no other companies, there are no private companies who will directly take these electrical engineers or mechanical engineers who have dropped out after their BTech. And whereas if you are a CSIT graduate and if you have done the data structures and the algorithms and all that stuff, and you have a very good knowledge of computer, then what you can do is that you can take a course on proper programming language concepts and maybe full stack developer, and take a proper learning regarding that, then appear for companies, and companies are welcome to take them because they have a very fundamental means like they have a very strong fundamental. And on top of that, once they go into these companies with a strong fundamental, they have a good software engineering knowledge, and they can apply and they can work it out. Now what happens is that in other industries that doesn't happen, and for civil and mechanical engineers also there is a huge scarcity. Now that's the thing, like, should you take a drop? Now taking a drop is not bad. If you are actually able to crack those examinations, it's brilliant. It is one of the very best jobs out there. Now, if you are taking a job, do analyze your options. Do analyze that what is the family situation, what is my own aspiration, what I want to do next. And taking all these things into account and thinking through the process and understanding what you have to do. If you are taking a drop, then that's fine, but your decisions should not be at all influenced by other people who are saying this is such a brilliant job and you should just take a drop and just crack those examinations. No, you should not do that. You should think through properly. There are risks, you should assess those risks. And if everything, and even after assessing the risk, and this is what you have decided and this is what you want to do, then go ahead, surely. But do take the time, do assess your situation, and do understand what you are actually trying to achieve. And out there, what happens is that we always, the essential reason I made this video is that they just simply tell you the success stories. No one tells you the failure stories, and they are massively more, and we have to also take learnings from them. Do take a drop. Do I am really happy that since there are such a large number of graduates entering it, the technical knowledge of our youth is also increasing. So that is good and that is fine, but we should also take into like consideration the economic aspects. How long can you prepare? How many drops will you take? So do take all those things into consideration and do decide. Do be brutally honest with yourself and see how good you are and how much you want to achieve, and can you persist through these tough times. And if everything is affirmative on your end, then surely, definitely go ahead. I hope this gives maybe some clarity regarding whether to take a drop for GATE or not. Thank you.